It's been a little, I don't know, the human Satoru deck was just so fun. I'm glad I spent the time with it yesterday. But we had this kind of prepped for that for Friday, starting with it today. Um, I wasn't sure if we wanted to do a Satoru ninja deck until I realized that Ornithopter kind of helped bridge the gap between cards that enable Satoru, zero mana creatures that let you cantrip, and also a density of ninja enablers, good creatures to ninjutsu into play here. Ninjutsuing a creature also triggers Satoru, which I think is a big intention on the card. Maybe there's a format where you could play, I'll always be able to cast this card on turn 2 and then play every Dimir ninja that ever existed. But it definitely seems like a big intention on the card that it gets that ninjutsu lets you draw a card when you ninjutsu something into play here. Ornithopter, draw a card of Satoru. Also gives you I really like the idea of going like turn 1 Ornithopter, interact on turn 1 with like a Fatal Push, maybe a Grief or a Subtlety, and then just turn 2 Ingenious Infiltrator. And I think that the ninja plan of playing one of these 2/2 drops that is going to let you draw a ton of cards, and backing that up with a bunch of zero mana spells, Grief, Subtlety, and Force of Negation here is a pretty interesting one. Definitely a plan that feels like it's going to do a lot better if it wins a lot of die rolls. But we'll see. I think the first copy of Fallen Shinobi is probably correct to play, especially because it just does pitch to Grief and Subtlety. It's possible you could play two because it just pitches so well. Um, but I don't think any other ninja is playable. Moon Circuit Hacker was a card that I like, and I would maybe play some copies of Moon Circuit Hacker if it weren't for uh, Orcish Bowmaster. Just registering one toughness creatures against that card is still a difficult thing to do. So let's get going. Top decks. Let's keep. We have a fatal push on the draw. Um, and I think this list is also like continuing to get better too. This is kind of the updated list where we have a lower mana curve. And we're also I think Kitesail Larcenist is likely going to be a nice upgrade. It's a good out to the One Ring. It's has better stats than Reflector Mage. Has Ward 1. It's Ward 1 that gets doubled with Delny. Gets protected extra by Kitesail Mariner. I'm at the moment like somewhat optimistic that this is going to be a nice upgrade. Someone suggested playing Force of Negation in the list too, which like has me pretty excited against creativity. So I feel like it's kind of easy to even fit like 3 forces if we cut the Gigantha and bring these in. I don't know, should we still play Gigantha? Sideboard's getting pretty taxed. Liking the Gataki with all the affinity running around. The scheming fences looked pretty good. Last time down to 3 scheming fence. A lot of ins and outs of the case. Good top deck. Someone's got 4 cards in their hand. 1 Night's Whisper, 1 Shieldred's Edict, 1 Field of Ruins. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 drops, and then we can Essence Flux away the ring at a later date, maybe after Dauthi Voidwalker has entered play, to cast my own copy of the ring. By myself, never using Gigantha, has so many cards in hand. Yeah, that was definitely our experience in this list, was Gigantha never came up because we had so many cards, which is a good problem to have. My main thought about why you would want Gigantha is that it's an out to Blood Moon that you always have access to. And that seems like it would also just kind of be the almost the exclusive purpose. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of merit to Gigantha beyond just being like this kind of constant out to Blood Moon. So I don't know. Cryptic Coat does trigger Satoru. We have played that deck. We have played the Cryptic Coat Satoru build. When it says great, another scam variant. Poor opponent. On the bright side, you're playing coffers, so you're probably typically favored against scam, right? But frantic search or inventory in Phoenix is just too slow. All the looting I feel like could take over the game. So the thing about Phoenix that I think some people maybe have a hard time understanding, or is like not obvious, is the deck is not that interested in playing card advantage spells. That makes sense. Like you really just want to be playing. You want to be getting board presence. You want to be getting board presence as quickly as you can. Okay, they have just a damnation, so let's not keep a creature that plays into it on top. Need Pioneer Brews incoming. I mean, Modern is just kind of the tough thing about Pioneer Brews, right? Is that Modern is just kind of so sick in moments like this that it's tough for me to like really uh focus on Pioneer at all. But maybe one day. There, it is an RC season, so maybe. I got the Damnation. No cards in their hand. I'm drawing up 2 there at 6 life points. I saw a ton. I responded to you earlier. It sounds very interesting. Okay, opponent is down to 3 life points. Great, another Damnation. Getting Subtlety because they can't Fatal Push it. Also stops like Karn, Shielded, right? What's the offensive both against Surveillance? And for some reason, I thought that I could put. So what I was supposed to do is fetch. I was supposed to fetch and then put a Surveil trigger on the stack and then respond to that Surveil with my second Surveil. That's how you're supposed to do it. And then I just kind of like misclicked and then didn't say anything. Okay, so we're up a game against Coffers. I cut all 4 Fatal Pushes. I'm gonna bring in these 5 cards. Let's keep in the Fallen Shinobi this time, huh? Could trim Ornithopter number 4. Might trim it. Maybe could trim Ingenious Infiltrator number 4, because it can be just kind of tough to draw 2 copies of these. Could trim Dauthi Voidwalker number 4. Yeah, Voidwalker's kind of it can't. It's obviously really nice if you live with it. It can be awkward to just like play 2 Voidwalkers into their 2 pushes and lose. I think I lost my train of thought on the Phoenix stuff. Yeah, but you're just not that interested in like raw card advantage spells. Like you are building a ton of advantage by getting these free Phoenixes, these free Demi Liches that are just giving you a ton of board and card advantage. And you want to be you just need to have that low curve as possible with as like, you know, to churn through and continue to do this. And you just need cantrips. You don't really need card advantage spells. Okay, let's save our Force of Negation here. Great, another scam variant. Okay, so I drew another one of these, so I'll play an Ornithopter. Probably another black card besides the Infiltrator. I would evoke Grief here. Okay. Not today. Team Master, 15 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Should have evoked. Maybe we should just grief pitch this Shinobi, but come on. Should I run out the Tidebinder? I think so. It's kind of nice against Edict because then we like just force the Edict then. Like it's a March of Wretched Sorrow. So I'm likely gonna grief here. Hopefully, now I'm hoping to draw a black source and I could scam it. Seems like I'm gonna need to evoke it no matter what, though. Yeah. I'll try to high roll this Fallen Shinobi. Yeah, if we drew a land there, that would have been really nice. My opponent says your deck is BS, and I say, Vra, I'm literally playing ninjas, chill. They did not, yeah, they did not forgive. Yeah, opponent's cranky on their Monday morning. Coffers grind. So I'm gonna play this out so I can maybe ninjutsu Fallen Shinobi. BS stands for bullshit. We do probably have a good matchup. Look at this. Look at this Darkslick Shores. Is brutal. Can't ever fatal push a Fallen Shinobi. Don't dead after all, Governor. So whenever am I supposed to hold a hardcast Force, or am I supposed to play this Voidwalker? I feel like they just have so many nice things to hardcast Force on that they can top deck. I kind of want to not have to pitch my Shinobi, because they'll be so tilted by the Shinobi. Any assault in the chat? Give it to me. Give it to me. I want it, opponent. I want it, Luis. Call me a name. Dude, my deck is such bullshit. Watch me fall. Watch me trigger Not Dead After all off my Fallen Shinobi ninjutsu. No. No, I have no enemies. So I was gonna say your deck is BS. Not today. I might name Jade Avenger here though. Karn is already turning off the ring. Let's grab a 2/2. Okay, pro everything. I just want the smoke, you know, but need to be at peace. So I'm gonna cast the Toady despite it turning off my Voidwalkers, but this is just gonna give me lethal if I go into turn Tidebinder plus on the Toady, attack for 8. So we had some reviews from chat. Deck looks awful, unplayable. Reviews from actual opponents who were playing against it. Deck is BS. Deck is BS. Who do we trust here? Satoru rest. Polluted Delta. Let's keep this. Gonna be surveillant here. Ooh, what a card. So I guess we're gonna go next turn Satoru, Ornithopter, Grief, and then we get to go Ingenious Infiltrator, draw 3, assuming my opponent doesn't do anything. Why would they do anything though? Ooh, that one. Okay, yeah, they weren't gonna do anything. Nice. Okay, we'll take this card because that card's pretty good. Then we get to go Ingenious Infiltrator, and then Jutsu off Ornithopter, draw 1, draw 1, sorry, we're gonna draw 4 because we get to draw off the Satoru trigger, off the Satoru dealing combat damage, the Infiltrator dealing combat damage, and then the Ornithopter returning to play. We did this 2 matches ago, and then we just drew like all but 1 lands. The boy is this sick. No, nobody make fun of Merfolk. We need Merfolk players in these streets killing Titan players. We need the Merfolk players. They're out here farming Amulet Titan. Dude, Ornithopter is so sick. They're doing honest work. Okay, we are going to draw so many cards here. 1 card. Like 6 cards? 7 cards. So we should have Revolt for Fatal Push. So we ninjutsu'd. Opponent is a gamer. Has not given up yet. Deck's not looking so good, Spike. I'm sorry to tell you, bruv. You've got to pack it in, governor. I've been texting Harry MTG lately. Yeah. Can double block, that's okay. Nobody knows Satoru has Menace, dude. Okay, so not dead after all, and then ninjutsu. We may deck ourselves. Where are they? No, they're gonna go to 1, right? Come on. So we're gonna edicts here. First Needle is usually pretty good against them. Forces coming out. Shinobi coming out. Fourth Voidwalker coming out. Yeah, we need us to watch Fallout. We really liked it. It was good. Definitely recommend it. Esther, who never experienced Fallout before, has started to play New Vegas, and but usually when Esther plays video games, she like runs around the tutorial area for like 3 weeks and loves it, and then moves on, which has been what's been happening so far. It's been fun. The pushes are too good. Like if I had like a worse black card, not sure what an example would be. I might just evoke this grief to like get this going. If you Fallen Shinobi can cast Tibble, it should be able to, yeah. Yeah, I have a friend who is actually a high school history teacher, and he has played one video game, one video game for the last 10 years probably, Fallout New Vegas, and he has played it over and over and over and over and over again. So save the Ornithopter for Satoru. And I think also save the Grief for Satoru. Yeah, so when me and Ness are building our characters, we had a nice little chat with them. Okay, I guess we'll push their second dockhand. They got a third one where that came from. If we get to draw a blue source off this infiltrator, we're going crazy here. Yeah, we're going crazy, dude. I guess we still have to draw a black card off one of my Ornithopters. Nice that we can still cycle these Essence Fluxes later. Let's take a Lord of Atlantis. Why is this spiking so hard? People are playing Affinity. People seem to be liking that deck. I did well in a Legacy event too, I think, over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess they can just actually double block and block. I'm just going to Essence Flux both if they do. Okay, they do not. Draw a card. Draw a card. Let's go ahead and cycle an Essence Flux, untapping this. Draw a black card, I'll evoke Grief and then Essence Flux again. Did not. I think I want a Sudden Edict on their turn. Obviously, I don't need to wait for them to do anything because it has split second. Could attack with ninjutsus to top deck. Yeah. I guess attacking with an Ornithopter in case we top decked another Infiltrator was correct, huh? Nuh-uh. Split second. Opponent trying to figure out what the heck. Okay. 0-2 league, 2-0 league. Love to be on the play. Which I imagine is going to be a common theme in this deck. What do you think of the flex slots? I don't know. Probably the Voidwalkers are more flex spot than anything else in the deck. You don't have to play the Fallen Shinobi. But I've been, happy enough to register it. I guess I'm hoping that they scam this because it comes back to my side. Some people fuck this up. They may just evoke it too, just like turn any black card into a Thoughtseize. If I had my Not Dead After All up, I could scam it. They decide to do nothing, which is always a valid play. Satoru would be an awesome draw, of course. Force of Negation, not so good against Rakdos usually. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Dauthi Voidwalker. Could be some merit in waiting a turn when I have Not Dead After All up, but let's just use our mana here. Satoru made Affinity fun again. Yeah, I haven't seen a Satoru Affinity list that looks great, but I'm definitely open to it. Okay, take another Thoughtseize. Hey, why do all of these cards, the Prosperity Post, this is like a newspaper. I was wondering why. I was like, every single time I see one of these cards, I read Prosperity at the top. I'm like, thinking it's a Magic card called Prosperity, but I guess not. 3 cards in their hand. Ragavan coming back. Or at the very least, I don't know, like if the post was like the same size as Prosperity, I feel like it might look better. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Magic card Prosperity. Familiar enough, at least. Bing, bing, bing. I like I like the cards too. I think they look pretty good. I just like every time I see it, I just get kind of confused. But I think they look pretty good. They're like a lot better than the last. Maybe they look good because they look so much better than the last set. Promo cards. So they graveyard a Ragavan. Unlikely to Voidwalker Ragavan into play, I guess. Let's surveil. Graveyard this. Right, you can ping me. Imagine a world where WotC does special frame border cards once a year instead of every set. I don't know. I kind of like having a bunch of promos. I don't know. It seems like it does seem like that does seem like something people get really up in arms about, but I don't know. Just way better stuff to complain about usually. I don't know. You can not like it. That's fine. Top line of that text. Yeah. It's Prosperity and then the mana cost right there. Yeah, could have been a bit better. Good Voidwalker Ragavan with another card. Yeah, but then they would just trigger Bowmaster again. It's like way better. Just keep keep this Voidwalker in play, clocking them with a protection spell for it too. What if their cards in hand are? They may just be like 2 Undying effects. That would make sense, especially with the Voidwalker in play. So if I evoke Grief and then Essence Flux, they get 2 Bowmaster triggers, which is a problem. If I attack with Satoru, They are gonna have to double block. I can attack with Satoru and like then push the Orc army maybe. And then like I'd be pretty okay if they double block with the Bowmaster. Well, then maybe I'm not actually that okay. Yeah, I think let's just get in for just 3 here. See if they do anything. And then just hardcast Grief with Force of Negation up on their turn. It doesn't really seem like they have a lot necessarily. I don't know. Definitely not a lot. They do get a Surveil. Fetching down to 3 is kind of risky though against Voidwalker and Grief. They do keep a card on top. So what card would they keep on? I will find out in a second. Y'all remember Fury? Y'all remember Fury? Just imagine top deck Fury on this board. That was like a real modern card, dude. Essence Flux pretty bad against Bowmaster, I guess. Or sorry, Sudden Edict's pretty bad against Bowmaster. It's probably like 2. I don't know, like Shielder's Edict is a card you usually keep in against them. And like Sudden Edict's actually really good against their Undying effects. Keep on top concede, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I guess they could have just drawn like a push and then alive on board, right? Just to be up a game against Scam. Was Jace really Ashiok the whole time? Yeah. I was shocked to find out too. What led you use Sudden Edict over Shielders? So I mostly want the Edicts against the Leyline Scion decks and being able to get around their Stubber Denials, I think is really nice. And it's like Stub on Shielders Edict is often pretty backbreaking. And like in the main deck, Shielders Edict is more versatile, but if you're sideboarding your Edicts in the Leyland Side metagame, I think Sudden Edict makes more sense. Sudden Edict is also like kind of nice against Titan. I didn't board him in last time, maybe I should have. Against Scam here, you get to like get around them Undying affecting the stuff, which is nice. Against Murktide also, like they go Murktide counterspell up, you just Sudden Edict them and you laugh at them all day. And I think the card is pretty nice. To some extent also, like, and this isn't like the most of it, but Sudden Edict is like a pretty interesting card that I haven't gotten to play very much with, and I think is pretty good at the moment. So I just kind of want to be getting some reps in with it, if that makes sense. Yeah, I saw Dom run 2 RNG events. Dom is so good. I was thinking about like I don't know, Dom reminds me of the Professor Hulk from the Avengers. He's just so like unstoppable, such like a crazy force of nature, but also just so smart and so nice, just like post like the amulet Bible for free, and just Dom is so great. Really big fan. Right, I think I'm supposed to go Satoru, Evoke Grief here. Get 2 swamps in my hand. Then it's push Blood Moon Mystery card. Can I fetch the island here? Yeah. Huh. We'll just draw it. He has an 8th file version of the deck. Like, oh come on. The humans one. I think there's something there. The deck has definitely felt like it's kind of like teeming with potential. It has like it's doing a lot of things that I like. It's doing a lot of things well, I think. And I have an updated version of that deck that we're gonna play soon, today or tomorrow, I think. And yeah, pretty excited. Oh, I couldn't push the Dauthi off island, right? I need to go Watery Grave, push, untap Satoru. Also, hello, Anurag. Good to see ya. How about brought back Satoru? This is like an idea, but it's like it was very far away from being like a deck list to it that you can evaluate. These are two cards that work well together. You need to do some more work to figure out if there's anything there. But I'm also pretty sure I told someone the same thing about brought back. Oh, okay, game three. Brought Satoru recently. Okay, on the play. Maybe Shinobi's great. You just can't push it. Okay, great is going to be a stretch. I should have Voidwalker play Shinobi. Can't stop me. Updates to Magda Asmo. I will at some point probably. Give me some time to chew on the list. I like the deck, and sometimes when people like a list, they just want updates. But a lot of times when the deck goes pretty well, like the Magda Asmo deck, it's not going to get too changed. I know you had an Aether Vial variant already. I was talking about generally about Aether Vial Satoru decks. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. At the very least, when I'm going to be talking about like modern decks, I'm talking about what I've been playing on stream, what I've been liking, and yeah, I liked I liked the humans build. We had a build that was like more on just being like a kind of value vial build with like subtlety solitude. This build was cool. It needs to be like pretty reworked, but the humans build has seemed pretty promising so far, I think. And we'll likely play it soon. So we're drawing Takenuma. You're gonna take Satoru or Fatal Push. Any plans to work on Fervent Champion to get a modern? Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Maybe trying to see if there's how much support there is for MH3, but I kind of do just want to put a Lost Jitte on a Fervent Champion. Lost Jitte on, if you go Jitte on Ragavan turn 2, it can be pretty good also. They took the Grief. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go in Dauthi Mire here. If I draw exactly Polluted Delta, then I can get an island, and then all of a sudden we're doing pretty good against them having Blood Moon. Blood Moon looked pretty good for them last game, so I would expect them to have it again here. Dingo at 03 the Gracious Pluck and Chills Weekend. Hopes and Dreams Crushed. Yeah, that definitely looks really high variance, but he was like 9-1 with it at some point, so I would hope that he wouldn't completely abandon it yet. Lost Jitte on Core Duelist. Broke. Yeah, I don't know. Lost Jitte looked pretty good for us in the Dice Factory deck on Friday. We lost playing for a trophy. Legion's into me. Lost playing for trophy, but I felt like it looked pretty good. I want to be playing it in Scales soon, and I am kind of interested to see like what it does look like in like a fair strategy. I was kind of thinking about maybe playing it in the Esper Satoru Stoneblade deck we were playing. You just do with Lila. What is Liha? Lilah. I don't know how to say that, and I don't know what the card is. Everyone's thinking. Blue red. Oh yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just like it does sound very cool with like these split cards that you can do the big side of, but there are so many 3 mana creatures that if you untap with them and you built your deck around them, you're gonna get to like just make a ton of board or card advantage. One of the best examples of these that is actually like pretty playable, I think, is just gonna do the more mana efficient card is more playable is like General Ferris Rockrig, and this one is playable because it has hexproof from monocolored, so it dodges most removal spells in the format. But like these kind of like 3 mana 3/3s, like no protection is just it's tough. Guess I'm getting punished for using the Edict here. They just hardcast the Grief. Basic. What Sudden Edict matchup are you bringing over Shooter's Edict? This one, it's better in this matchup. It's better against Murktide, and it's better against Domain Zoo. Hearse? I guess I should probably play the Ornithopter so that if I do draw Island, it's better. Leyland of the Guild Pack does not turn spells multicolor, unfortunately. Come on, Island. You're in there somewhere. Any text to win domain versus prowess matchup? No. The opponent returns a Dauthi Voidwalker, which they can't currently cast. Does seem tough. Does seem tough. Trade Chalice and wanting them. Well, I'm not going to be able to scam this without Essence Fluxing it. There are other Swamp and Hardcast, maybe. Yeah, no Lorens in this build. Could play a Loren or two. Could have a lot of tap lands. My opponent is plotting Stingerback Terror, which is pretty bad against my Edict, I guess. No shot this card is playable, right? Maybe I should evoke a Grief here. They probably have some kind of good card in their hand. I don't want to go to discard. Okay. What a scam to bring in Bloodmoon versus 2-color deck. Maybe on the play, and I mean, it worked out for them. It worked out for them on the play game too. Leaving it seems fine. Give some hard to cast cards. I don't know. I probably wouldn't, but it doesn't seem like that bad too. Kind of nice that they can't crew the hearse because we get to edict the stinger back. Oh, I guess they can crew just main phase if they want to play around edict. Got priority. Really nice that in this matchup they just like against edict their undying effects just don't work. Can't crew the hearse. Why not push the hearse? I would push the hearse if they crewed it. So another hand is Molten Collapse, Dauthi Voidwalker. The race to draw a basic island continues. Why is any of our shows? We just got done talking about this, but in this matchup they can't undying their stuff against Edict. It's much better against Murktide. It's much better against Domain Zoo. So these are the matchups you want the card for. Let's just play it. You know, I think Shield's Edict is better in the main deck because it's more versatile. But and you know, in the sideboard you want cards that are more effective typically. Yeah, I have one swamp, one island to draw to. My opponent probably has like 2 to 3 more swamps. They have Voidwalker, Molten Collapse, and a mystery card in their hand. Probably about time to not go down to discard. I don't know why they paused so long there. I know that the Molten Collapse is castable and this one isn't, but just kind of thinking that we want to leverage our removal spells as long as we can. And I think that includes just getting rid of any threats, and the Molten Collapse seems like it's possible to play around. Yeah, we have one swamp and one island to be drawing into here. Did I say when surgical as coppers for scam? No. Like it's not good against like scamming Grief because they just take the surgical before you can surgical it. Yeah, I think it is funny we've actually drawn spells for like 10 turns in a row or something. I'm gonna go ahead and cash in an edict here, I guess. I think we actually maybe we surveilled the Takenuma. We surveilled the Takenuma to the top, and then I think every single other draw step in this 16 turn game has been a land. Been a spell. The odds of drawing 15 spells one land is low. Not that it matters so much here, right? Of course, but it's just kind of funny. I think I should just push this and then counter the Bone Crusher preemptively before I'd like take 2. There we go. Not an island. Yeah, most lands are a brick. It's just, I don't know, just saying, kind of statistically funny. Turn 18. Turn 19. Guess we're just gonna get one shot by this hearse at some point. Turn 20, there's land number 5. Dauthi is first, dude. What the fuck are you doing? We have one swamp, one island to draw into. We should maybe have moved on a million years ago. Versus crew 2, they just didn't crew when they had priority. No one can play around the Sudden Edict. Despite having me edict them like 3 times this match. Dealing damage to them by Satoru, discard deal 2. Okay. I concede 2-1. Yeah, they'll give this one a go. On the draw. Sure wish I just could have played around the blood in either sideboard game. Maybe I could have sequenced my lands different game 1. I don't know. You kind of just gotta play your land there to be able to get a surveil land if they don't play a 2-mana creature. Am I gonna Force of Negation Renin 6 here? Probably have to. Wait one more turn on the Ornithopter, but then definitely gonna play it to try to Fallen Shinobi them. GG's dub. Opponent expressively iterates. I might like to expressively iterate next turn. Vra, not with Grief and Subtlety, no. Not with Grief and Subtlety, no what? What I was worried about Fatal Push. Or I guess, yeah, what are you, TK, what are you saying I did wrong there? Oh, someone asked about Giganta. I see. Yes. We have Voidwalker, Force of Negation, Subtlety, and we have a lot of cards for no Giganta. Raw indeed. Four cards in their hand. Dude, Ring is so good against Fallen Shinobi. I guess we just hardcast Subtlety this turn. Doesn't seem like we should be sacking our Voidwalker for iteration. Isn't 4 mana and then choosing somewhat bad? Yeah. I don't know. I'm playing one copy in the deck. It seemed like a fun include, and I really wanted one more ninja, and like this is like I think the next best one. There really aren't that many good ninjas. That's some moments. And it also pitches Degree Force, and pitches all your cards. Can't be that bad, right? I'm gonna shuffle these two back in. Play one Ornithopter. Puts at 5 life. Go down to 3. We felt like we had some better hits off this Shinobi. Savoy Breeding Pool is good vibes. Jetmir Watery Grave is bad vibes. What Triumph Shocking for Dane is the best vibes? I don't know. I'm too old to answer this question. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Took some time to tap the mana, but there's an Omnath. So I guess I should probably upkeep Surveil to try to find Fatal Push. They shock in Sacred Foundry. Going to 5. They're going to go down to 2 on their upkeep. And kill the Subtlety. Fallen Shinobi, okay. So let's oh my gosh, I did not set the upkeep sub. I did draw on accident. Not sure how that happened. I don't know, I just misclicked. Is what it is. They have to have an answer for this Subtlety though, right? It's attacking for no reason. So they're trying to find a Solitude off their ring, and then I can try to Essence Flux my Subtlety to stop that. And even if they do, they have to exile their own Omnath. They only have 2 Solitudes left in the deck. Won the game despite me failing to fetch on my upkeep there. So up a game against 4-color Omnath. I'm going to bring in the 4th Force, the 1st Pithing Needle, 4 Tishana's Tidebinders. I'm going to cut all 4 Fatal Push, I think. It's kind of tough. Obviously, they have Omnath in their deck. And Tidebinder Omnath. We can Subtlety Omnath. Let's play 1 push. Why wait till upkeep? Not instead. We wanted to upkeep Surveil so that if we could find Fatal Push and push the Omnath that game and have Revolt is why we wanted upkeep there. Alright, let's do this. Moon Circuit lets you ninjutsu multiple times for extra draw via Satoru. I think Moon Circuit Hacker is unplayable. I don't know. It's just it's bad to cast. It's has 1 toughness. It doesn't just not a very good card. We have ninjutsu off the Infiltrator. We've done that thing a few times. Maybe 1 Moon Circuit Hacker is better than 1 Fallen Shinobi, but the problem, of course, with this archetype is Infiltrator is very good, Satoru is very good. Your quality of ninjas beyond those 2 is not very good. Gonna put back Sudden Voidwalker. Could keep it and then put back the Tidebinder in the spot. Tidebinder is just pretty dang nice against them. I'm going to graveyard this 3rd land. There's a good chance I'm going to go Satoru plus Evoke Grief on turn 2. See what they do. I'm not sure if there's... Like, if they're like holding up obvious removal spell, we probably just play Voidwalker instead, I guess. This is a Leyline Binding mana. Just, I guess, see what the top card of my library is. Okay, I'm gonna play the Voidwalker. Probably will lose to Teferi if that's what they have here. Can beat Anissa. Okay, let's try to Tidebind the Nissa here. It's kind of a bit too crazy if they have a fetch land to follow this up. Then you get to respond by cracking the fetch. I think we're supposed to try to tie by Nissa, not the fetch land. It's maybe kind of close. But I want to try to get this locked down. You're seriously undervaluing one mana ninjutsu? Dude, I get it. Ninja is not a good card. It's like, I get your arguments for it. I understand why you want it. I've played the card in Modern before. It isn't good. Is it optimal in this list? I don't know, but it's not a card I'm very excited to play. If it is playable here, it's going to be very medium, very mediocre. It's just like ninjas is not. There's you know, I may be underrating one mana ninjutsu. You're probably overrating the ninja archetype in general. So they shouldn't get their elemental here because that first trigger didn't resolve. They will get a fourth mana. Pretty tough. What matchup is Moon Circuit Hacker good in? The answer, the list is probably pretty low. Okay, so this ability does get countered here, but the ring is still online. Let's go to game. Alright, screw this Fatal Push. Gonna bring in the Shinobi. As with counter life plus trigger on ring in case they don't tap main phase. They're gonna tap main phase probably, but I just kind of can't beat those two cards from the ring, so I just don't think I have that luxury either. Yeah, those two cards felt pretty pretty unbeatable, which is not the best place to be. Okay, opponent's on a mold to 6. Yeah, Ninjutsu does trigger Satoru, which certainly feels like a big intention on the card. I'm not going to force a negation a Rin 6 here. I don't think there's really anything I'd force or subtlety on this board. So they're going to main phase Solitude pitch to Fairy Time Raveler so that they can effectively Rin 6. So maybe now I'll force a negation to Rin 6. Seems like that makes sense. What should I pitch? I should probably pitch this Fallen Shinobi. Could you play Preordain over some Dauthi or Tidebinder? I guess. I mean, Tidebinders are not in the main deck, but you could. Could cut some amount of lands too. Four cards in their hand. Surveilling. I was kind of hoping to draw a blue card there. Should have kept the Fallen Shinobi over the Subtlety. Since I drew land and they didn't do anything. If they had Hardcast Solitude up, I probably wouldn't crack my fetch here, but since they don't, we will. Always a land on top. Thank you, Surveil Lands. Surveil Lands can't do enough. Wander, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. Appreciate you. It's got 3 cards in hand, 12 life points. Take 4 lands in a row because I surveilled 2 and then drew 2. Got some good top decks. Did you put the Omnath on top, of course? There is a Solitude under the Void counter, and if I cast the Solitude off the Voidwalker, I can get to draw a card from Satoru, so that's nice top deck. I think I'll go ahead and play the land out and fetch to thin. They should save this fetch land for this Omnath, which I guess they know is going to resolve. Get their life total up, up, up. None of my creatures can be blocked by the Omnath, which is something. They have a land in their hand. They get a forest. They're going to play another land, I would guess. Okay, just going to cast the Halfling. So now they can menace block the Satoru. Okay, let's hardcast this Grief. So I can just put them to 3, maybe. And take the backup Omnath. I think instead I'll take this Omnath, and then I'll cast the Solitude, exile the Omnath. And then I can attack for 5. They're going to go up to 13, but I get to draw a card off of this also. Feels like this... Oh, boy. Let the chain begin. Imagine I draw a blue card. I mean, I guess it's not that tough to draw a blue card here, right? Since I get 3 looks, right? I was forget about the ninjutsu draw. So I get 2 more cards. Any blue ones? There's a blue one. There's wow. Could not really have imagined this turn going any better. Can't the block damage with Veil? No, Veil doesn't do that. You're thinking maybe of Surge of Salvation. Opponent will have to jump here or here. So I'm getting a spam call. So we can, in their draw step, Essence Flux the Grief, then Force of Negation the Veil. Doesn't even cast the Veil. Okay. Let's get a 4-1 prediction going. Glad we gave this deck another league. You're still good to draw the card since they're going to Solitude. Since you're going to Solitude before damage. I don't get to draw the card from the Satoru doing combat damage from my Ingenious Infiltrator. Yeah, but I do think it makes sense to be just trying Slick Shot in that shell, because like prior to this sec out, I thought that deck was better than like more traditional prowess lists, and now this card is a big upgrade to those prowess lists, so maybe just try it. Why do you prefer Sudden Edict over Shield's Edict? In the sideboard, I think it's a lot better. It's better in really all of these. It's better against Domain Zoo because it gets around their counter magic. It gets around Murktide's counter magic. It gets around scams and dying effects. Like you're only boarding them in creature matchups, so board them in creature matchups like this, where you just get around their protection spells. How much of winning do you think is because your high magic spell, the deck's being good, is the real question? I don't know, brother. I do a lot of losing on the stream, too. I definitely am proficient at Magic the Gathering, but it just depends. That's kind of up for you to determine, and you can, watch the matches and kind of critically think about that. I think I'll keep Basic Swamp. It's not amazing, but maybe we just get to hardcast Force this turn on tap and hardcast Grief or Subtlety. Infiltrator shouldn't have yet. Yeah, I know 4 dogs. I know 4 dogs. I've said all of this. I know. It's okay. We don't. Let's move on, please. It's not so bad if they lightning bolt my Grief, I think. Three Searing Blazes? Alright, if they draw a land this turn, it's actually still okay, because you just hardcast the Subtlety and block, maybe. All right, let's get the subtlety down. They have to have exactly lightning bolt as one of their 2 draws too. And they would have cast bolt last turn, I think, to really blow me out. And I could maybe force a negation. We have to get a clock in play. This card actually casts lightning bolt every turn. Card advantage. I have not seen the Cowboy Bebop promos. Okay, opponent concedes. Not trying hard for the doubters, huh? 4th Force of Negation and Fallen Shinobi out. Maybe if Shinobi's sick, I don't know. Just like hits them for 5, then cast 2 burn spells, maybe. I'm gonna play one. Should probably have like 3 edicts or something over the Voidwalkers. Voidwalker's kind of slow. It's kind of nice against Helix sometimes. Well, these look great. So this is not a secret lair. It's a store promo, which is kind of cool. Yeah, they all look great. I've sometimes wanted to play Snakeskin Veil and Hardened Scales as like the protection spell of choice. Most people prefer the one that can protect your non-creature permanents, which does make sense. Gopher Throat's pretty good. It's a good standard card. It's a good standard card. Okay, this hand is beautiful. We're gonna keep Subtlety against Burn. Doesn't feel horrible to Subtlety their 1-drop. You gotta do what you gotta do. Subtlety Eidolon's also pretty good. We could maybe trim one, but they're also like blue 3/3 blockers against a Sanctifier. Disappointing cards they choose? I don't know. They're all like kind of almost all standard cards, and standard is popular and good at the moment. I actually think I like seeing extra standard support, since it feels like there hasn't been as much support for the format as other formats. Here, I think you want to fetch after the Goblin Guide trigger happens to maximize your chances of drawing land number 2. Obviously, it does kind of always depend a little bit. I have a lot of these kind of conversations. Take this. They have a lightning bolt for my Infiltrator. It's less than ideal. They're kind of pausing. I'm jamming. I don't know. They're maybe just thinking like, why am I attacking with Ornithopter? No, they were not thinking that. I think I played this for another. I don't know. You can hold it for Satoru, or you can play it for another Infiltrator. The thing is, like, Satoru will still be a pretty reasonable top deck. I have the Sudden Edict, and I kind of want to scam the Subtlety into play if I can, and then maybe even like not the most upset with getting 2 Goblin Guide triggers here if I can find a land. Don't find a land off the first one here. We do find a Fatal Push on top, so it'd be kind of interesting if our opponent even sends with the Goblin Guide. Say force a Rolling Vortex. Potentially. I'm just not going to force the Lava Spike. We don't need to like think too much about what specific thing we're saving for at the moment. Like I would force like a main phase Boros Charm almost always probably. I may even like have to scam the Subtlety. Lava Spike down to 7. I don't know why it's up 6 there. Dude, the Islets, Sunbay Canyon, gonna really feel these here. May have to settle this in game 3. And another, if Satoru or Infiltrator were probably in okay shape. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Don't think we should scam the Subtlety there. Do you think we should scam Grief? So, I guess we're hoping that they burn me in response, and it's like Helix and not Boros Charm or Skullcrack, ideally, and then we somehow take 2 other cards. Opponent, I guess they didn't want to cast the Swift Spear into the O2 blocker, because that makes some sense. It ended up working out pretty well. Kind of, almost actually can't imagine them having a better hand for us to Grief Scams. Like, just actually getting to take both cards is kind of wild. So then it should be Mountain, 2 mystery cards. I think I should Subtlety this. Oh yeah, they knew about the push from the Goblin Guide. They do keep it on top. Big draw step for me. Satoru or Infiltrator would go a long way. Lightning Bolts is tough. I'm gonna play this so that I can jump Eidolon for longer, but at this point we're probably going to go to game 3 unless we draw a removal spell soon. I will be jumping the Eidolon, I think, after a single attack. Do I probably leave one Ornithopter so that I could draw an Infiltrator? Go to 5, I don't know. No, I can't go to 5 because I need to be able to draw a burn spell and then be able to. A removal spell, kill the Eidolon, and then tank a burn spell. Now we're going to be Eidolon locked. Let's go to game 2. Game 3. On the play game 3, kind of think I can just try to be more aggressive, get away from these edicts. Especially since we have the subtlety still, we have subtlety push, and some of our stuff is just not triggering Eidolon either. Eidolon's always going to be worse in the draw. They have Helix in their deck, so the Voidwalker gets a bit better. Surprise the bottom path. Yeah. It's kind of like classic burn sideboarding. Like they may just be better off if they didn't touch their sideboard at all. Is Tidebinder good against Eidolon? Not really. It's kind of slow against it. You still take 2 damage from it when you Tidebinder the trigger. Kind of sometimes awkward to like cast a spell, trigger Eidolon, then Tidebinder. It's a lot of mana. Yeah, if I'm gonna subtlety something turn 1, like if they Goblin Guide, I think I will subtlety, but I'm not gonna scam it because I want to get the Infiltrator going. And then here, maybe what I should do is sandbag this for Satoru, and then just not commit the Infiltrator until next turn when I can maybe Essence Flux. Ornithopter feels so close to a dead card here. Would it be better to play a 1-drop with an ETB? Ornithopter draws a card if you have Satoru, and it's a 0 mana spell, which is, infinite less mana than 1 mana, or 1 less mana. And it's also like just, I don't know, it's good with Satoru, and it's very good with Infiltrator, and I'm really into the card. There's no good 1-drop with an ETB also. Okay, let's graveyard that. They get lightning bolted, then we have the Essence Flux. Put it with no play on their turn on turn 1 or 2. And anytime you go also you can go like Ornithopter Surveil Land, and it's just kind of nice. To some extent, just tanking the burn spells is good too. It looks like we're probably gonna get Searing Blazed, which is less good. 3 cards left in their hand after this. Come on. Fallen Shinobi. I'm at 10 life, 2 cards. Fetching down to 9 feels bad. Gotta cast the Subtlety. Just not winning this game. Sitting and doing nothing. Subtlety again. Cast a free Lava Spike every turn. Fair enough. Not a bad draw. They got 2 cards left in their hand. If we draw Ingenious Infiltrator off this Ornithopter, we're so cooking. We draw Ingenious Infiltrator off this Essence Flux. We're so cooking. Okay. Maybe you should be surveilling here. I don't know. I'm kind of scared of Double Boar's Charm, but okay. Sack a Sunbake Canyon. There's an Eidolon. Alright, get in with Satoru, I think. We may get to Eidolon lock them since they have Sunbake Canyon and Eidolon and they're stuck on lands. I'm gonna chump block this turn. I don't think I'm sacking my fetch. Every life point does matter a lot. Gonna be tough to really Eidolon lock them. We do have you know, a good amount of 4 and 5. We have, you know, 7 4 and 5 mana spells. Down to 7. It's kind of like the 2 damage from this doesn't matter so much since we are kind of checking the 2 damage that we get from the Eidolon. Find another land. 3 spells in their hand is not the best place to be. Second Searing Blaze is not the best place to be. But 4 life points. They have 2 cards in their hand, both spells. Both Pathed Exiles, maybe. Although they would have pathed my Ornithopter. I forgot that this is also just 4 mana. Good draw. 4 mana, 2/3. They do have a Pathed Exile, so they're down to 4 life. We're going to be Eidolon locked. So I guess we can Surveil end of turn. Now we're dead. Close one. Alright, 3 and 2. Shout out Believers. That was Shinobi. The problem is, like, Shinobi still triggers Eidolon with whatever we're hitting. Fun deck. Probably worse than other Satoru decks we have at the moment. Very fun. We're going to play Updated Phoenix next, and then we may play Updated Vile Humans. I also have I have some other stuff in the pocket.